Alright, what is going on, everybody? It is Game Master Yato with Grandmaster Gaming, and welcome back to the channel. So this is actually a video that I've been meaning to make for a little while now. Hayden recommended that I make it, and I thought it sounded fun. I've seen a lot of other YouTubers do this too. We're going to be ranking every Call of Duty game, just based off of its overall gameplay, enjoyment. It's not going to be anything specific, like we're not going to be just looking at campaign. We're not going to just be looking at multiplayer. We're going to be looking at the game as a whole and ranking everything. So if you want to do this tier list too, I will leave the link to it down in the description below if you want to check it out. Since this channel is still kind of new, just a little bit about me. I have played pretty much every single Call of Duty game. I used to really just focus on campaign, but I have played pretty much every multiplayer experience as well in some shape or form, with my multiplayer gameplay really ramping up over the last few years. So I do have a good idea of pretty much all of these Call of Duty games. I did add this category down here, never played, because I've never played any of these, so I'm not going to really rank them. So if you see something that I'm not ranking, look down here because it might be there. Other than that, this is pretty new for me. I've never done this style of video before. Usually we're doing gameplay, so hopefully it goes okay. But we're going to go ahead and I guess we'll just get started. So, categories here. I did change the category names. Literally goated, amazing, pretty good, meh, and then what? Because this is pretty much going to be the lower tier Call of Duty games. And can't wait for some of these spicy hot takes. So, all right, let's get started here. These are really in no particular order, but we'll get started. This is Call of Duty. I think it's Black Ops 3. Yeah, it's Black Ops 3. Call of Duty Black Ops 3, I'm going to say is pretty good. I know a lot of people think Black Ops 3 is literally goated. However, the campaign was honestly one of the worst campaigns we've ever seen in Call of Duty history. Absolutely despised it. The multiplayer was pretty good. I think this is probably one of the better iterations of Jetpack Call of Duties, in my opinion. It felt really clean and smooth. The zombies experience, obviously, the zombies experience is goated. It is one of the best, and I think that should be taken into consideration. So I think all said and done, for me, pretty good is a fair ranking. And keep in mind, this is just my opinion. If you disagree with any of these, which I'm sure you will, feel free to put it down in the comments. I would be interested to see what other people think, but this is my opinion, so please respect that. But anyway, yeah, pretty good. Black Ops 3. Call of Duty Mobile. I'm not a mobile gamer, but I'm gonna put Call of Duty Mobile in amazing. Call of Duty Mobile is honestly what I want to see the main Call of Duty franchise do. They basically, the maps in Call of Duty Mobile are essentially just a collection of sort of greatest hits maps. Same thing with the weapons. It's just a lot of fun. Honestly, like, I think Call of Duty Mobile really focuses on having fun over anything else. And even though I'm not a mobile gamer, I think Call of Duty Mobile is pretty darn good. I usually play it with a controller, and a lot of times I'll take my tablet, hook it up to my TV, and play it like that, and I have a lot of fun with it, honestly. So I would love to see Call of Duty kind of go with this path for its mainline games, where we have, instead of doing yearly release Call of Duties, we kind of just have this collection of sort of greatest hits. I doubt that's ever going to happen, but it would be pretty cool if it did. All right. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, the original Modern Warfare game. I think I have to put it in literally goated. I mean, Call of Duty 4, it changed Call of Duty, and I would honestly say the FPS genre as a whole, in a lot of different ways that can't be underestimated. This took Call of Duty in a radically different direction. Up until this point, Call of Duty had been a World War II FPS franchise. Every single Call of Duty game had been in World War II. This is the first Call of Duty game set out of World War II in a modern setting, and obviously we have seen, even today, the effects of that. We're seeing sort of a rebooted Modern Warfare trilogy now. But Call of Duty 4 is really where I would say modern Call of Duty started. It was the first game where we had an iteration of kill streaks. We really saw Create a Class start to get a little bit more involved. perks, like a lot of the modern elements that we know and love in Call of Duty games today really got their start in Modern Warfare. Now with the kill streak system, if you don't know, it was a very basic kill streak system. It was I think it was like a 3-5-7 system where every 3, 5, and 7 kills you got a different kill streak. You couldn't pick which ones they were. It was a UAV. I think the final one was an attack. It's been a really long time since I played this. UAV. I think the final one was an attack helicopter, and I want to say the middle one was like a missile or something. I don't know. It's been a really long time since I played Call of Duty 4, but that's basically what it was. World at War continued that trend with the 3-5-7 kill streaks. And then Modern Warfare 2 was the first game where we were able to have fully customizable kill streaks. But regardless, Call of Duty 4, I think, has to be literally goated. Easy choice right there. And let's move on to going from that to Advanced Warfare. All right, Advanced Warfare was meh at best. Although, yeah, I'm going to leave it at meh. I didn't care for Advanced Warfare. I thought the campaign was honestly kind of meh. The multiplayer was meh. It was the first iteration of like a futuristic Call of Duty where we had the advanced movement, and I think for it being the first iteration, it was a good attempt, but we definitely saw better iterations of that as time went on, like when Black Ops 3. But I can't rank Advanced Warfare much higher than this. It's honestly not a very memorable game. I have not played this game in a very long time. And honestly, I don't know. I don't even remember a lot of the elements of it because I didn't play it that much. I do remember how we had we could customize each specific kill streak and like add different abilities to it that increased or decreased the points required for it. I think that's kind of cool, and I would actually like to see that come back. But other than that, I mean, Advanced Warfare was kind of meh. But for our first foray into futuristic Call of Duty, I think it was okay. All right, Call of Duty Finest Hour. The first World War II game we're talking about today. So this was not the first Call of Duty game of all time, but it was the first Call of Duty game on console, and it's definitely not aged very well. I'll be honest, I never played the multiplayer of this. I only played the campaign. The campaign is freaking hard. Like, at least I remember it being really hard. I was a lot younger when I played it. I'm gonna say it was pretty good for what it was. The story was pretty unique and interesting. The characters were interesting. It did have a lot. It had more of a story, I think, than some of the Call of Duties that came before it, but that's not really saying much because the Call of Duties that came before it really didn't have a ton of story to it. And Finest Hour story was nothing like we get today. So I would say it's pretty good for it being its first instance of Call of Duty on console. Interestingly enough, Spark Unlimited was the developer that made this. They never made another Call of Duty game because I guess they went, from what I heard, they went like way over budget, and because of that, we're never allowed to make another Call of Duty game again. So this is really all we saw with Spark Unlimited, but it did show the potential of Call of Duty on console, which is where it largely dominates today. Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Gotta put it there. Gameplay I love, honestly. Love the gameplay. The multiplayer gameplay was great. The fact that they removed campaign in favor of Battle Royale was disgraceful. The monetization and microtransaction system in the game is disgraceful. And one thing that will ruin a game for me more than anything else is anti-consumerism and predatory microtransactions. And that honestly could have been the subheading for Black Ops 4. The level of monetization, microtransactions, and how predatory it was shameful. It was horrible. Honestly, had they gone with a microtransaction monetization system like we see in the newest Call of Duty games, with free DLC, all game-impacting items are able to be earned in-game for free, I could honestly get over the fact there was no campaign, and if they did fix the monetization system, which I know it's a lot better now, but if they fix the monetization system right from the get, I would honestly put it as amazing. But I can't do that. Like, there's too many major issues with it that make me put it in this lowest tier. And I mean, the zombies too. It was just kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to talk about the zombies. Zombies was interesting, but I don't think it's as bad as some people say it is. But it's definitely not that good. Although I do like the Titanic map. I know a lot of people don't, but I'm a huge fan of the Titanic in real life. I love studying it, so I thought that was pretty cool. All right, Call of Duty 3. Call of Duty 3, I believe, was Treyarch's first mainline Call of Duty game. They made one other one before this, and we'll get to that actually next. But this was their first mainline entry into Call of Duty, and I think for what it was, it's actually pretty amazing. You can really see Treyarch's storytelling ability come out with Call of Duty 3. This is the first Call of Duty game. No, that's a lie. It's not the first Call of Duty game that has cutscenes, but I think it's the first Call of Duty game that utilizes cutscenes the most, like, really effectively to help tell an overall story. And there definitely is an overall story that kind of connects with each other. It basically tells the story of right after D-Day, the different allied nations coming together to try to keep pushing into France and clear what's called the Falaise Gap. And that's really what this Call of Duty campaign focuses on. It's a very unique setting for a World War II game. And you get to play as a lot of unique countries that you really don't get to play as in other Call of Duty games. You get to play as the Americans, which is, I mean, that's pretty standard. The British, that's pretty standard. But you also get to play as the Canadians and the Polish, which I don't think you get to play as them in any other World War II Call of Duty game. So that's pretty unique. Storytelling was great. I still love Call of Duty 3. I actually think it still holds up pretty well to this day. Obviously, the graphics aren't amazing, but I do think it holds up pretty darn well. So Call of Duty 3... definitely belongs here in the amazing tier, and it kind of started a better trend of like telling more compelling narratives within a Call of Duty experience. The multiplayer was also pretty interesting. It definitely was inspired a lot more by Battlefield. It utilized a lot of vehicles, utilized a lot of big maps, utilized more of like a class system. Like you had like a medics type class and a machine gunner type class. Obviously, that didn't really stick in Call of Duty, but it was interesting, and I think it was a pretty fun experience, to be honest. I never played too much of the multiplayer with this game, but I have played a little bit, and it was definitely unique. Okay, Call of Duty 2 Big Red 1. If you've never played this game, I'm sorry, because it's literally goated. It is one of the best World War II Call of Duty games in existence. It was the first Call of Duty game that I played, so maybe I'm looking at it too much with rose-colored glasses, but I don't care. The story is amazing. This game was actually the first Call of Duty game, as far as I know, that was made by Treyarch. Could be wrong about that. Somebody check. But I'm pretty sure this was the first Call of Duty game made by Treyarch. It wasn't really a mainline game though. Call of Duty 2 Big Red 1 was essentially released alongside Call of Duty 2, right here, for the oldest gen platforms, Xbox and PlayStation 2. Whereas Call of Duty 2, the mainline Call of Duty 2, was released for 360 and PS3. Big Red 1, I think, is probably the first instance where we see like a really good story being told, but it's not as like polished and in depth with like really good cutscenes as Call of Duty 3 was. The story is great. It focuses on a single American infantry squad, the Big Red 1, all through their battles and whatnot through pretty much the entire war, honestly. Like, it starts, I think, in 1941 or 42 and goes all the way up to 1945. So it's such a good game. It's such a good story. If any Call of Duty game can get remastered, I really want this one to get remastered because it is so good. It honestly disappoints me that my original Xbox doesn't work anymore, because I would love to play this again for the channel, but as of right now, I don't honestly know of a way to play this without getting another original Xbox, so I don't know that I'm ever going to be able to play it, but this is such a good game. If you've never had the chance to play it, I'm sorry, and if you do have the chance to play it and you never have, definitely give it a shot. Infinite Warfare. Infinite Warfare, I'm putting as pretty good, and I think that's going to be a lot higher than some people would rank this. Infinite Warfare well, you can't see it anymore, but the trailer for Infinite Warfare on YouTube has like millions of dislikes, I'm pretty sure. Although you can't see that anymore, but you know, whatever. The campaign's goated. The campaign is one of the best campaigns I've ever had in Call of Duty, in my opinion. It is super good campaign, and I feel like a lot of people missed out on it because they kind of just dismissed Infinite Warfare for being yet another futuristic game when people were sick and tired of futuristic games in Call of Duty. Also the fact that this released alongside Modern Warfare, or Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Remastered, so people kind of just went to that. But the campaign is amazing. The reason I am putting it in the middle tier, though, is because the multiplayer is, in my opinion, pretty boring. I don't care about the multiplayer, really. I didn't find it all that fun. I was also one of those people that was kind of sick of futuristic Call of Duty games, and while the campaign was really good, the multiplayer was not, in my opinion. It just wasn't for me. It didn't really resonate for me. They did implement a zombies experience in this, which I think had good intentions, but I didn't really care about it all that much, although it was a really unique setting, with taking inspiration with these zombies maps, taking inspiration from a lot of the classic horror movies. I thought that was pretty cool, but it just wasn't for me. I don't know. The campaign honestly drags it up from beyond the bottom tier, but I think this is more than fair to put it here. That's how much I think the campaign raises it up. If we're not talking about campaign, it's there, honestly. But campaign, I think, puts it at pretty good. Call of Duty World War II, one of the most underrated Call of Duty games of all time. I love World War II. I should probably say that. I find the topic in history fascinating to explore and study and learn about. I've taken classes on World War II in college. That's how much I enjoy it. So again, probably a little bit of rose-colored glasses here, but I think Call of Duty World War II is incredibly underrated. I think a lot of people stopped playing the game at the beginning because of how poorly implemented certain things were. However, after the overhaul of Call of Duty World War II, in terms of its multiplayer, it got a lot better, but I think by that point, a lot of people had just kind of moved on and stopped playing it, and they didn't really give it another chance. But if you did give it another chance, you probably know what I'm talking about. The multiplayer was really good. It was really solid. I loved the war mode, and that's something I would love to see come back in Call of Duty Vanguard. I doubt it will, but the war mode was so fun. It was a 6v6 mode that basically had, like, campaign-style objectives. It was really, really cool and inventive. There was even one war map where you got to storm the beaches of Normandy. I thought it was just so cool, so well implemented. I would love to see it come back, whether it's in Vanguard or some other Call of Duty game. It was just very unique. And I think Call of Duty World War II is definitely underrated. The campaign is okay. It's not bad, but it's not amazing either. The zombies was kind of meh. I didn't really care that much about it. Although it is better than Vanguard zombies, but that's not a very high bar. But Call of Duty World War II, I mean, it's a pretty good game. I would say it's a pretty good game. I really liked in the multiplayer how they had that headquarters area. I kind of wish that would come back. I thought that was pretty cool. I know some people thought it was gimmicky, and I guess in a sense it was, but I thought it was pretty cool. So I'd like to see that come back. Again, that's just me. Black Ops Cold War. Between Modern Warfare Vanguard and Cold War, I think Cold War is definitely the better of those games, and I'm going to put it amazing. I don't think it's goated, but it's pretty close. I think Cold War is really good. The multiplayer was fun. I really liked the more arcadey style of its multiplayer, how it had like the health bar and the 150 health. I like the feel of the gunplay. I really enjoyed it. Black Ops Cold War, I think people hated on it a little too much in certain areas. I think the zombies is the best iteration of zombies we've ever gotten, hands down. I played more zombies than I did multiplayer in that game because I enjoyed it so much. It was such a good experience. I really just had fun with it. Cold War I felt like was a game where you could just have fun. I still play it to this day. I kind of alternate between that and Vanguard, and I'll probably keep playing it for a couple more years. It's really, really just that good. And if Treyarch can kind of keep up with this trend, and do this well with whatever their next mainline game is going to be, I think it'll be a pretty good game. So Cold War, pretty darn good. Also, this game proved that Treyarch still knows how to make a good campaign. After the I'm going to be honest, disaster of a campaign with Black Ops 3 and the lack of a campaign with Black Ops 4. It had been a little while since we saw a good Treyarch campaign, and they really brought it back. Cold War's campaign felt like a classic, like Black Ops 1 style campaign where it had like that mystery and kind of that like just like mind-bending style of an element. Like you never really knew what was going on until the very end. I liked the little bit of customizations you could do with your character. I thought that was really cool. Campaign was definitely a lot of fun, and I will still definitely go through and play this game again in the future. Call of Duty World at War. Again, this is a goated game. This is the best of World War II Call of Duty games. Between the campaign and the multiplayer and honestly, zombies is really fun, even though it's very basic. This is the best of the World War II Call of Duty games. It did almost everything right, in my opinion. It took inspiration from Call of Duty 4 in the sense that it did have a limited limited custom classes. It had the 357 kill streak system. The maps are still some of the most fun maps in Call of Duty, in my opinion. We even see that a little bit in Vanguard with the Castle and Dome maps being remastered. If you play Call of Duty Vanguard and didn't know this, Castle and Dome actually originated in World at War, and they're remastered in this game, so that's pretty cool. The campaign was amazing. It introduced us to the legendary character Sergeant Reznov, who's obviously pretty awesome. This is the Call of Duty game, in my opinion, that really made you feel like you were in like a gritty, dark World War II environment. Again, this is a Treyarch game. I think Treyarch does some amazing stories with their Call of Duty campaigns, and this definitely held up to that. This is also the first Call of Duty game that introduced zombies. Zombies was introduced as kind of just a joke Easter egg mode, and they released some DLC maps in this game when they released DLCs for multiplayer. And it obviously just took off from there. This game, the final DLC, we saw the implementation of the Pack-a-Punch system. We saw the implementation of perks for the first time throughout the different maps. And it's just such a fun game. The zombies, like I said, is really basic, but it's still really fun. And I do enjoy playing the remastered zombies maps in Zombies Chronicles and Black Ops 3. So I gotta say, World at War is literally goated. It's the best of the World War II Call of Duty games when we're looking at a complete package. Yeah, hands down. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 also goated. I mean, the campaign's great, multiplayer's great. I love the Spec Ops. It was probably the most fun iteration of Spec Ops that we had. I enjoyed Modern Warfare 2019's version of Spec Ops, but it was nothing like what we got in Modern Warfare 2, and then by default Modern Warfare 3, but Modern Warfare 2 was just so good. I don't think it would do that well today because people are so like sweaty when they play, and unfortunately, I think we've gotten away from like playing just to have fun, and everybody wants to be like the next big streamer and pro player. But back in the Modern Warfare 2 days when people were just playing to have fun, I mean, it was a great time. Every weapon was busted. I mean, everything was overpowered. I mean, this is really the game that I think defined, like, trick shots, 360 no-scope montages, sniper montages. This game was the first game that introduced the nuke as a kill streak, and people, I mean, that took over by storm. It introduced a much more expanded create a class system, much more expanded kill streaks where you could like pick different kill streaks and you just didn't have default ones. Introduced some of the most legendary maps in Call of Duty, which I still love to this day. Modern Warfare 2 is just amazing. Obviously the story is great. They remastered the campaign of it not too long ago, and I loved playing through that again. Legendary story. I still think this is probably one of the best stories in terms of campaign and Call of Duty history. Just so good. I hope they remaster the rest of this game because I'd love to go back and play it again. And I would be interested to see how it would take in a modern audience, for sure. All right, next up, Call of Duty Black Ops, the original Black Ops. It's either going here or here. I don't know. I'm putting it here because I don't want to put it in the same tier as Cold War. Original Black Ops is just it's amazing. It's amazing. The campaign was really different than we had gotten before. This was really like the first instance of like a super mind-bending campaign, although grounded in some level of realism. It took place during the Vietnam War largely. And it kind of continued Reznov's story from World at War in a way. But it was really cool. The campaign was great. I still like playing it. It holds up pretty well today, in my opinion. Some really cool characters that were introduced in that campaign. The multiplayer is awesome. And I have said that one thing that I want to see come back in Call of Duty is something that they did in Black Ops. And if you never played the Black Ops multiplayer, they essentially had a system where when you played the game and completed matches, you got this currency. It was actually called COD points, but it's not the COD points that we have now where you have to like spend real money to get it. This was stuff that you just earned by playing the game. And you could use those COD points to buy your weapons that you wanted to use and create a class, to buy attachments that you wanted. I think that system is so cool, and I think it would work really well with the gunsmith system that we have now. Instead of having to like level up every single gun and earn, every single attachment, every gun, maybe you could spend like 100 in-game earnable currency and buy a red dot sight that you can use on every single gun. I think that'd be really cool. I would love to see that system come back. I feel like that system is not talked about a whole lot, but I would like to see that come back for sure. The zombies, really, zombies in Black Ops 1 got taken to the next level. This was the first game, besides World at War, where it really became like a mode of its own. Some really good zombies maps, really great DLC maps as well. And yeah, I think it's goated. Between this and Modern Warfare 1/Modern Warfare 2, we really got to see Call of Duty like take off in different directions. And you can see why they call this the golden era of Call of Duty. This is really was the best that we've ever seen, in my opinion. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, I'm putting it in goated again because I actually think it's a slightly better version of Modern Warfare 2. I know a lot of people prefer Modern Warfare 2. I prefer Modern Warfare 3. I think Modern Warfare 3 is great. I think Modern Warfare 3 still holds the record for the most number of weapons at launch ever in Call of Duty. I don't think it has the record for the most weapons total. I think that actually goes to Call of Duty World War II, because if you count DLC weapons, this I think has the most of any Call of Duty game. But at launch, this holds the record for most weapons, and that's a big deal for me. It was largely the same as Modern Warfare 2 in terms of gameplay, but we saw the different strike packages that you could pick. We saw, again, kind of a continuation of Spec Ops. We saw the first iteration of a survival mode in Call of Duty, not counting zombies, but like just the survival game mode, which I absolutely loved. I can't tell you how many hours I've played of survival with my friends. Survival was just great, and even though they didn't do as good of a job with it in Modern Warfare 2019, it was still a really good mode in COD Modern Warfare 3. So I would actually say this is slightly better than Modern Warfare 2, but that's not to say that Modern Warfare 2 is a bad game. And again, and the story, I keep forgetting to talk about the story. The campaign in this game, also amazing. It finishes off the trilogy really nicely. And this is really the first iteration of a complete full trilogy that we've seen in Call of Duty. If you want to play a really good story from start to finish, these 3 games, definitely good to play through. Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I keep putting Call of Duties in goated, but again, you can really see here the golden age of Call of Duty. And Black Ops 2, I honestly think, is the end of the golden age of Call of Duty. Black Ops 2 it was a near future game, and I think that's a really good era for Call of Duty. It's not completely futuristic like Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, but it's not too far in the future that it's like ridiculous. I would actually like to see the next Treyarch Call of Duty game go back to it like this kind of style. Black Ops 2, I think, arguably has the best multiplayer from like a balance and competitive perspective. It's really cool in that regard. I also think this is the first Call of Duty game that had DLC weapons, if I'm not mistaken. I know it had the Peacekeeper. I think this is the first Call of Duty game that did that. But it was really good. The campaign was really cool. I loved in the campaign how you could create your class for campaign missions. I liked how it bounced back between like Alex Mason in like the 80s and then his son David Mason in like the 2020s, although ironically that is getting close to present day, which is really weird. But yeah, this is a really cool campaign, really cool game as a whole, and I think this really showed what a good competitive, balanced Call of Duty multiplayer could be. I think Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 I think really like defined what zombies would be going forward as well. Black Ops 2, it's had a pretty good zombies mode. I think it's a little bit overrated, to be honest, but it had a pretty good zombies mode. It introduced a lot of cool things, so I gotta give props where props is due. Okay, I'm gonna say Modern Warfare because that's a hot take, and I'm gonna have some stuff to explain with that. Call of Duty Ghosts. Call of Duty Ghosts I gotta put as meh. Call of Duty Ghosts is aight. I do believe this is the first Call of Duty game that was released for next gen. Okay, I keep saying next gen. For Xbox One and PS4 consoles. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it was. The story I think is better than people give it credit for, but the multiplayer is not very fun. They introduced that squad system in Ghost multiplayer, which was cool, but it was kind of gimmicky and obviously didn't make a return. Time to kill was way too fast in Call of Duty Ghosts. I hate that. Some of the maps were way too big. I don't know. It just wasn't. It was kind of just a meh Call of Duty, honestly. Like it's not amazing. Trying to think of anything else to say about it. Was this the game that had extinction mode? I honestly can't remember because I never really played it all that much, so I probably shouldn't even comment on it because I didn't play it all that much. But I'm pretty sure this is a game that had extinction mode, which I know kind of has mixed feelings about. But honestly, not much more I could say about Call of Duty Ghosts. Campaign was okay, but wasn't anything spectacular. Although I do want the story of this game to conclude at some point. It ended on a massive cliffhanger, and I think it'd be pretty easy to finish it in this new Modern Warfare universe. I don't think that'd be too much to ask. I would love to see that finished. Call of Duty 2, I mean, I'll be honest, Call of Duty 2 was kind of meh. It was the first Call of Duty game released on Xbox 360 and PS3 consoles. It definitely was better than Call of Duty 1 and Call of Duty United Offensive, which was essentially a DLC pack for COD 1. But I don't think it's nothing that spectacular. The campaign's fun. It's very basic. This is, fun fact, in case you don't know, this is the first Call of Duty game that introduced automatic healing instead of having like health packs and a health bar that you had to go around and get. But it's just it's all right. It's meh. I don't know. It's of the World War II Call of Duty campaigns, I think this is probably my least favorite, if I'm being completely honest. But that's not to say it's bad. The multiplayer obviously was very basic. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this one, to be completely honest. It's just kind of there. Okay, I don't know why Vanguard's here twice. So I'm gonna put Vanguard, one of Vanguard's here, but I have played Vanguard and I've played it extensively, and I'll talk about that. Okay, Modern Warfare. Oh, I can feel the dislikes. Modern Warfare. Let's go on there. What can I say about Modern Warfare? The campaign is phenomenal. The campaign, I really felt like the original Modern Warfare campaigns to an extent. It was really fun. It was really well done. Visually, it was amazing. The campaign, one of the top campaigns in Call of Duty history. Hands down. The Spec Ops was fun. I think Spec Ops is underrated, but it was not supported as much as it should have been. They kind of just like released all of the updates for Spec Ops right at the beginning and then didn't really care much about it at all. They did release additional maps for the survival mode as time went on, but really, I mean, that's kind of meh. in terms of the multiplayer, I've got a lot to say about the multiplayer. The multiplayer was not fun in the slightest. Multiplayer, it was a camping simulator, which I hated. It not only discouraged, but it punished people who wanted to play, aggressively and more fast paced, which I don't agree with Call of Duty. That's not fun in Call of Duty, in my opinion. I am an aggressive player. I don't like to just sit in a corner and wait for somebody to come to me. That's boring. What else? The time to kill, I felt like, was way too fast. The map design was way too big. Way too big for classic 6v6 on most maps. The spawn there was no spawn logic, like it was just completely random. The one good thing I will say about the multiplayer was that it introduced the gunsmith system, and I still think it's the best iteration of the gunsmith system that we've seen between Modern Warfare, Cold War, and Vanguard. So that's cool. It did set a new bar for visuals in Call of Duty. I think it's one of the best looking Call of Duty games even now. What else? I'm trying to think. It did also introduce a new monetization system where all post-launch content was free, which is great. I give them a lot of props for that. It introduced a battle pass system. It didn't introduce the battle pass in Call of Duty, but it introduced the version that we see now, which is also a great system. And every piece of game impacting content, like perks and weapons and stuff like that, you can earn by playing the game, which is a huge plus. But everything else about that was not very good. It was evident to me that Modern Warfare was made to support and create Warzone, because most of the maps, whether they were launch maps or DLC maps, were basically just copy, pasted, cut, and pasted, whatever you want to call it, portions of Verdansk. And that really bothered me. Like, not all the maps. There were some maps that weren't like that, but a lot of the maps, that's all it was copy-pasted versions of the Warzone map. And it was clear that Warzone was really the focus that year. And I think that was a really big disservice to Modern Warfare, given that it was the big return to Modern Warfare after Modern Warfare 3. And I don't know, that just really rubbed me the wrong way. I think Modern Warfare, as much as I wanted it to be good, is one of my least favorite Call of Duty games of all time. I'm not really that hyped at all for Modern Warfare 2, if I'm being completely honest. You know what? I'm going to use the second Vanguard to actually talk about Warzone. So this Vanguard right here is going to talk about Warzone, because I realize that's not on there. Warzone, I'm going to say meh. Although I will say, when Modern Warfare first came out and Warzone first came out, I would actually say it was probably between pretty good and amazing. I really liked Warzone. It was the first Battle Royale game that I really did enjoy. But now, I'm going to put it as meh. Warzone at this point in time is so bloated with content, and I know the developers realize that. That's why they're doing like a brand new iteration of Warzone. As much as it might sound silly, well, I guess maybe not, because a lot of people feel this way, but the fact that it doesn't support an FOV slider on consoles, while it does on PC, is a huge disadvantage to console players, and it just makes it a lot less fun for me. And honestly, it's just the bloated content. Like, there's just so much in the game that I think it's just, like, even visually going, like, I played a little bit tonight, even going on there and just, like, visually looking at it, like, you can tell it is just so bogged down and bloated with content. Like, there's bugs and glitches and visual issues. Like, there's so much in the game that I don't think it's really going to be able to be salvaged, and I think the developers know that. That's why we're getting a brand new Warzone experience, and I'm hoping that that's going to be better, because I did like Warzone a lot more than I do now, but Warzone, I think, is just in a state that it's not there. I hate to say that, because I know the developers worked really hard on it, but it's not there. And I do have to say, to be fair, I don't really care for the fact that Battle Royale is taking over the Call of Duty franchise, because it is. But it is what it is, I guess. Okay. And finally, the most recent current, at the time of me making this video, the current iteration of Call of Duty Vanguard. I know a lot of people don't like this game, but I actually think it's pretty good. It's not amazing, and it's definitely not goated, but it's pretty good. I still think Call of Duty World War II was better, but I don't dislike Vanguard by any means. The campaign was pretty good. I think between Cold War, Modern Warfare 2019, and Vanguard, Vanguard probably had the weakest campaign, but that's not to say it was bad. I did like the take on like a sort of fictional World War II setting. I thought that was pretty fun. Um, and the zombies, I mean, let's be honest, the zombies is not even close to the worst zombies experience that we've ever gotten in Call of Duty. The multiplayer, I think the multiplayer is really fun. I think the multiplayer, it had Modern Warfare's multiplayer been like what Vanguard's multiplayer is, I would probably like Modern Warfare a heck of a lot more than I did, because it promotes, or it allows for varied play styles. Whether you want to play a little bit slower in camp or whether you want to be a little bit more aggressive, you can do that in Vanguard. There's no play style that's directly punished like it was in Modern Warfare. The time to kill is a little bit longer, which I like a lot. The gunsmith system takes a lot of inspiration from Modern Warfare, but I still think Modern Warfare did that better. I really like the map design a lot more. I think the spawns are still a little bit wonky, but they're working on that. And I don't know. I feel like Sledgehammer's done a better job of like being transparent and open about this game when they're trying to fix things, more so than they were with more so than Infinity Ward was with Modern Warfare. So I think Vanguard is sort of underrated. I get why people don't like it, but I still think it's really fun, and I will definitely be playing Vanguard's multiplayer for a while to come. So yeah, that is my Call of Duty tier list. Please don't think I'm a fanboy for putting more Call of Duty games in the GOATed category than anything else, but I really think this is the golden age of Call of Duty for a reason, and that's why I put it up here. Again, this is just my opinion. Please respect that. If you have any disagreements, though, I would love to hear it. I know a lot of people would probably put this up here, but I can't do that. So, anyway, thanks for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe, and maybe we'll do more tier maker lists in the future. I was thinking about doing another tier list where we took all these Call of Duty games but ranked them by campaign, because this would look a lot different if I was ranking it by campaign. So yeah, if you did like this, like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.